Howdy! So today we're installing some KTM 390 Adventure Pivot Pegz. These were ordered through Pivot Pegz website and delivered to New Zealand about a week later, which is actually quite an astonishing time frame at the moment. As an example, I ordered a heater core for one of my cars from the States. It took about 8 weeks, and from China has been taking about 6. So yeah, let's have a look at these. We'll see how to install them, and we'll talk about a couple of problems that I think we've got with them. Okay, so in the box you'll notice it's for the KTM 390 Adventure, also the Kawasaki KLR 650. Really interesting. The box actually says, "We apologise for our temporary packaging. Our packaging company was unable to supply regular packaging due to the impact of the coronavirus." But I mean, it's a nice box anyway, and nice foamly packed. So I'm not too sure where that's coming from. Got a couple of new split pins there. So yeah, the first impressions are very good. There's a real nice weight to these, nice solid feeling, and a nice chrome finish on there as well. I feel that'd be very long lasting. The tines on top feel very solid, not too sharp. Being at these pivot, they also claim there's less wear on your boots, which I can certainly see be the case, as the boot won't normally pull on the tines, it'll actually move with it. The mount's solid but not too heavy. You can see there's a couple of lightning cutouts. The mount's attached with the stock pin on the bike, but like I said, does come with these new split pins, which is nice. In my pack as well, I bought a set of toppers. These are just rubber mounts that sit on top of the peg here, which give you a nicer feel for long distance, for road work, which is quite good. They were relatively cheap. The only thing I don't like about these is the fact that they attach with a cable tie. So I'm disposable, so you can't sort of take them on and off as easily as you would do the stock peg inserts, which have a rubber mount. I actually have one of the stock pegs here I've taken off already. You can see it has the nut on the underneath to take the rubber off, but you can already see they're not much longer, but they're certainly a fair bit wider and have much more aggressive tines on there to hold your boot. But yeah, these attach with a cable tie. They actually attach fairly solidly, so I think you could probably get away with just one cable tie each time. So I don't think it's not a massive issue, I don't think. And you can see these this one's for this peg, just fits over the top here. Also, when I bought mine, they were doing a free service kit, which is nice. These pegs do have a moving parts, so they do need to be serviced from time to time. So it's nice that they already come with one. Okay, so onto installation. These have a tiny amount of drop you can actually make. It's about the same as that spacer there, and you achieve this by swapping the mounts over. Personally, I don't think it's actually something that's really worth it, because the drop is super minimal, but I'm going to swap them over anyway, just so you can actually see how you go about that. Okay, I'm going to start by dismantling the left side foot peg here, and what we need to do is take the mount off and swap it to the other one. So we'll secure it in the vise. It's then a 17mm socket, and we just take this bolt off here. Relatively easy thing to do, like that. So that takes the bolt off. There's also a washer that comes off with this, and the spring behind it, which that's what provides the pivot action. We also want to make sure this came off with it here, but this little O-ring actually sits inside the groove here. So we'll make sure we've got that on. So in effect then we're left with our mount, which looks like this. Okay, we'll then repeat that with we'll put all our left one together there so we don't get mixed up, but we'll repeat that with the right one as well. See, on this one the O-ring stayed on there. So we'll pop it back on. Just as a point to note, sometimes this spring will actually stay on here, but it actually needs to go onto stay with the peg. So the way I found, if it comes off, what you want to do is grab some pliers squeeze a little bit just to open the gap there. Pop that gap over the top of this piece here, secure it with your finger, and then just slide it down and over. And that's the easiest way I find of actually getting that spring back on if it comes off. Okay, so we'll put our right stuff to the side, and then we'll reinstall the right-hand foot peg, right-hand mount with the left-hand foot peg. Again, making sure that O-ring's in there. Now this pin here, we want to make sure it goes between the two pieces on that spring there, so it can pivot backwards and forwards. Like that. I want to throw the washer and the bolt back on. We'll just loosely tighten that up now, and then that needs to be torqued to 25 Newton meters. So I've got my torque wrench here set to 25, and there we go. So nice and tight, and still maintains that pivoting function. Cool, and we will just repeat the same with the other side. Sweet, and so that's both of them swapped over so that they're on separate brackets. Now we'll get on to installing this on the actual motorcycle. Of course, first we have to take all the pegs off. Okay, so installing on the bike, this is fairly simple. First thing we need to do is remove these pegs. So we straighten up this split pin. We pull the split pin out, and then you'll notice we get a washer come off and a little rubber O-ring. Okay, then we just need to push this pin out. Can help to actually put a little bit of tension on the peg. Pull it out, and out comes our peg. Hello? What are you doing? Are you being a helper? No, you're running off. Okay. Okay, so the pieces we're going to reuse for this are the pin. We're going to use the washer and the O-ring. Okay, so the other thing you need from the box is a new split pin and also the spring that comes with it. So in order to fit this, we align the spring like this. We push it into the mount, and you notice how the spring's sticking up here, and then we push this in and put the pin in. It can be helpful here if you get a second person to help, because obviously one person can hold and the other can put in. But there we go, that's how it's in. We can test it this way, and you can see the pivot function there. Okay, and then after that we just put our ring just put our washer, our O-ring, and then our washer in goes the new pin, and then we bend the ends up round to hold the pin in. So pretty simple installation. Obviously the other side, we just repeat the other side, and that gives us our Pivot Pegz. As I stated before, there's a couple of issues I have with this product, which you may need to be aware of before you buy this. First and foremost is this spring. You can actually see the spring is too long and sticks out way above the mounting point. The point I like to keep my feet relatively inboard when I'm riding, especially when standing up, and I'm worried that's actually going to puncture or wear away parts of my boot. What I'm going to do is actually cut this. If you want to wait to the end of the video, I'll do a quick time lapse of me doing that, but that's part of one of the issues that I have there.